I'm Jake.
Hello, I'm Marlin.
aka Gee. And today we're going to be reacting to a reviewer who we've never reacted to before, Decker Shado. And you're not familiar with him, right?
I am not.
I am, and I enjoy him a lot. I don't watch him as much as I do some other reviewers, but I enjoy him a lot and I watch him when I can. And his reviews, he's got a very interesting style and a pretty cool personality. He's got a lot of energy, and sometimes he gets a little too dramatic at times, but he has good comedic timing in most areas.
Okay.
And his general theme of movies are action, horror, and sci-fi. And every year he does an entire summer theme of usually one particular action star, even though they come out mostly in autumn. And this review of his that we're going to react to today is from his Summer of Steven Seagal event. Oh joy. This is his review of The Glimmer Man.
Yes, a crossover. Of course that's what I mean. Come on, I'm Decker Shado. Everyone wants to do crossovers with me. I know I said that I'll be sitting back for 90% of the video, but trust me, it still counts. Yeah, it is still the Summer of Steven Seagal! Right? And the horse I rode in on. Got it. Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Decker Shado, the internet personality with the best hair. While it may still be the Summer of Seagal, don't worry, at week 5, we finally run out of movies with kill in the title. Unless you want to go back to the Bond films he's worked on as well, and while we probably would really want to, I don't have any of those to grace the Summer of Steven Seagal with.
Couldn't afford the
We don't
DVD.
need Roger Moore to save us from Steven Seagal. All we need is the focus taken away from him in a proper buddy cop movie. And who would be a better buddy than Keenen Ivory Wayans, as we see in the 1996 film, The Glimmer Man? Keenen Ivory Wayans. That's right, Keenen Ivory Wayans of the Wayans brothers. While actually he has done several serious action roles in his time, he is still very much a comedian first and foremost. That's not really focused on or abandoned in this movie entirely, as in some scenes he's one big walking gag, while in others it's super serious cop drama. However, I already appreciate what he's done for us, taking the focus away from Steven Seagal for at least 10 minutes. Anyway, let's take a look at the Glimmer Man, and why does that come off like the stage name of a sequin-clad gay stripper? Before the film really gets started, we're treated to a psychotically edited credit sequence with a very odd burnt effect overlaying everything for no apparent reason. Who the fuck thought this was even coherent? Oh, and who the fuck was stupid enough to okay it after he butchered the film?
And Julius R. Nassau.
But before him, we are introduced to Keenen Ivory Wayans, playing the role of Jim Campbell, LAPD detective. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't take long before he runs into Seagal.
Mr. Lovebeads, you're gonna have to seek higher enlightenment somewhere else.
I'm Lieutenant Cole, been assigned to the case. He asked me to come back here to look to the front. Didn't mean to be discourteous. Nice to meet you.
He's a cop, but he's from New York, so that's totally weird. And I know this is going to surprise a lot of you, but in this movie, he plays a man with a checkered past. In any case, Keenen cuts to the chase and tells him they're looking for a serial killer they've dubbed the Family Man, as he's murdered 6 entire families.
Have you found any
Seems
connection
fitting.
between the victims at all?
Other than the fact that they're all Catholic, which ties into the crucifixion ritual, no.
Well, with a sample size of 6, there's still a probability that that was just mere coincidence. Correlation does not equal causation. It appears they have to up the number to 7 today, so without wasting any time, Seagal and Wayans are on the case. Without fail, Seagal already knows something is wrong.
This ain't the same, Jim.
Yeah, the man who just showed up today, and this is the first time he's ever been on the scene for this case, he notices something is amiss. How the fuck would he know? We don't learn what this oddity is just yet, as instead we're interrupted by Seagal trying to force the plot to advance, logic be damned.
Possible suicide.
Yeah, we're in that area. Whoa, hey, man, what are you doing? It's right over here. No, see, that's suicide. We're homicide. Now, some dumbass want to jump off a building, that's his problem.
So while Seagal doesn't need to know anything about the case to find all the peculiarities in the last scene, at least they acknowledge that, unlike him, Campbell actually knows what his job is.
Somebody push his ass off the building, then call me. Well, I look at it, death is death, you know, I mean...
You may see it that way, but the city's population might take offense to homicide detectives showing up at the scene of every heart attack and asking uncomfortable questions. As he would rather piss off his chief than listen to Seagal ramble, Wayans drives him to the scene of the alleged attempted suicide, which happens to be a Catholic school. And by suicide, they mean hostage situation, as the man is holding the gun up to his classmates and not himself.
Johnny, please stop it. You're gonna hurt me.
Stop! Now, Millie! Not in the mood.
Put the gun down, Johnny. Just put it down.
Shut up!
Geez, you'd think in a Catholic school people would at least read their Bibles. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man, but to be in silence. So, technically, he's in the right. But suddenly, he hears a voice.
Johnny, this is Detective Cole, LAPD.
Hey, that reminds me, why didn't you do anything?
I would, but you took me out of your schools.
I guess that makes sense. Say, hey, this is a Catholic school.
Sorry, wrong denomination.
Picky. Anyway, Seagal uses the magical powers of a cell phone to trick the man into thinking he's outside instead of in the principal's office. But anyway, after placing every student's life at risk unnecessarily, he learns that the kid fears for his life for some unspoken reason and is ready to kill himself to avoid dying. Wait, what? And then Seagal kills him along with himself. Oh, who am I kidding? Seagal will survive the fall.
Bullshit.
Never mind, even better. Seagal has the power of flight now. Now we get to meet the kid's father, Frank Deverell, played by Bob Gunton.
Well, I sincerely hope that if there's ever anything I can do for you, you won't hesitate to ask me.
You may recognize him from Demolition Man, but he was also the warden in The Shawshank Redemption. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. He tends to play people of authority. Nevertheless, they leave before we can learn much about him in this movie anyway. Don't worry though, he sends his goon to shake down Seagal in the next scene, giving us all we need to know his role in this movie.
You tell your asshole boss that nobody threatens me.
I understand. I'll convey your feelings to Mr. Deverell.
I think it might not go over well if you break your boss's arm. Now it's time to head to the morgue, full of naked, dead women. Is there really that large of a market for necrophilia? Well, I guess with Twilight and all. Here we find Seagal can even pick out a Russian immigrant from an American
Still
from looks alone.
still
Because,
not dated.
after all, the American race is so unique and recognizable. Wayans isn't about to be upstage, though, and gives his own assessment.
She got nice tits. Precisely, grasshopper, but a little bit too nice.
Thus, we learn that Seagal can identify fake boobs at a glance as well. Okay, that I'll believe. As we're 15 minutes in, it's a good time to let the partners get to know each other. And what better way than having Seagal show off his love for all things Oriental while simultaneously humiliating Wayans?
Oh, yeah. It's bitter, man. Bitter? I don't know why it would be bitter. What is this? Oh, it's a little bit of powdered deer penis.
At least I think they're trying to humiliate Wayans. The way it comes off, Seagal is kind of implying that he gets all his superpowers from eating cock. That's enough of that, though. Time to get back on the case. So a random call informs them of an earlier random call of a random guy who promises random information on the family man randomly. There were actually earlier drafts that spent more time with things like character development and conversations between Cole and Campbell. They were cut from the final version of the film so that it flowed more like a normal Seagal film. You know, shitty. As luck would have it, they notice hooligans trying to break into a car, so Seagal declares they should leap into action.
You know, why don't we just get you some red boots and a cape and you can fly around the city and stop all the crime?
Damn, are Seagal's superpowers actually part
A
of the plot in this
balloon-shaped
movie?
Superman, apparently,
Well,
is what he
these
wants.
seriously suck at vandalism. They're not so bad at ambushes, as it turns out the California branch of the Russian mob lured them into a trap. So they were counting on him being Seagal, so he would willfully sidetrack himself for any reason, especially those that have nothing to do with his job. And yet they expect to win this fight against Seagal, knowing he's Seagal, and they've only brought 8 guys? Shit, he could take them all out with his laser eyes power.
There it is.
His credit card had a concealed razor, and he just slit 4 of their throats with it. For fuck's sake, is this guy a superhero in this movie or what? I guess he's not supposed to be because the killer credit card is never used again for the whole movie. Which is a shame. At least he could get some exploding Susie B superquarters in Act 3, don't you think? They beat the shit out of the gang, and Seagal determines, of course, they're Russian mafia. Strangely, however, he needs Wayans to translate for him.
Let me try. Speak Russian? A little bit. Shut up! Go ass!
You speak good Russian?
Yes, Black Russian.
Это не русский язык. Never mind that failed attempt at securing information, though, and the ambush. No, it's time to get back to work. So Seagal and Wayans check out the latest killing in the Family Man spree. Something else is wrong, though.
Are you alright, Jack?
Get out before you have to convey too much emotion, man.
Obviously, he knows her. That's because she's his ex-wife. Dead in the first scene. But don't you think he might have recognized the address, or not that? Then once they arrive, walking past all the stuff of his that she got in the divorce agreement? Of course he doesn't tell anyone, but then again, he doesn't have to if they found a print on the woman's body. Somehow. And it turns out to be Seagal's. I guess another one of his superpowers is selective amnesia. The convenient kind. Naturally, this means that Wayans no longer trusts the man and requests a full background check on him. You know, those things you never have to go through while joining the police force.
Nothing in the military records. Almost nothing before the NYPD. Looks like this guy came out of nowhere.
Wait a minute, you telling me we don't know nothing about this guy?
He's Seagal. He was either a cop, ex-military, or some part of a criminal organization, and no matter which one, he was the best there ever was.
He used to be married to the Dunleavy woman.
Yet they still can't figure out how his fingerprint could be found on her. You know, supposedly he had joint custody of the kids. How the fuck are any of these details secret or surprising? Wayans tells Seagal about him being a suspect because no reason to keep that secret information secret from him or anything, but Seagal doesn't care.
And the only piece of evidence I got points right at you. Now, does that worry you, Jack?
Try that worry.
Maybe. I can never tell what emotion your character is supposed to be expressing. Next up, we find Seagal at Marcus Steakhouse.
Hello, Lentos.
Or Lento's Italian restaurant. For fuck's sake, why not just have him walk into a shoe store? After signing in at the front desk and tipping the wait staff, Seagal meets up with Mr. Smith, played by Brian Cox. They play this scene like he's looking for information, except he isn't. He simply establishes that Smith is involved in Crimeco's American branch. Seagal knows the last two kills were assassinations and not the work of the Family Man, and he just so happens to have a checkered past that somehow involves Smith. He also asked him if he could help find out who it is. As if he needs help. It's not like Smith has Seagal powers. Another unnecessary action sequence to signify Seagal is leaving the set, which is entertaining and all, but yeah, we get it, he's a good fighter, and likes to wreck expensive property. But he's also established he's a Buddhist who doesn't like violence. Anyone going to mention this point?
Nope.
No? Oh well. While he's peacefully sending people to the hospital, Wayans gets a call from a psychiatrist who recognizes the Family Man's blood finger paintings, so he might actually advance the investigation.
Do you have a cold?
No, I'm allergic to the incense.
Oh, can I get you something?
No thanks, I'm gonna go suck on some deer penis, I'll be alright.
Ah shit, did Creepy send me another porno?
It's Chinese deer penis.
Huh. Really? She gives the name of the man who painted just like this, which makes me wonder why she didn't just mention that part on the phone earlier. But anyway, the entire station is abuzz and preparing to surround the guy's house. Seagal is Seagal, however, so only he is allowed to figure out that this devout killer probably isn't at home, but in church. Big surprise, he's right!
How did you know I'd be here?
Oh, Steven Seagal.
I just took a lucky guess.
Shit, this movie's not even trying to come up with bullshit excuses for Seagal powers anymore. Anyway, we established that he did not kill the last two, and that was someone else. Again, we know, movie, can we move on to the next topic yet? He pulls his gun on Seagal for no apparent reason, so of course he dies without giving us any information we didn't already have. The chief, of course, is furious that he acted alone and shot a man, so does the unthinkable, and sends him to internal affairs to be investigated.
How dare
Despite
he?
the fact that it is normal procedure to have any police shooting investigated. And also, you're supposed to have Seagal on paid administrative leave. And what is the best most accurate method of investigation than a polygraph test?
Of
Are you
course.
Detective Jack Cole?
Yes.
Have you ever climbed Mount Everest?
Yes.
He's Seagal. Of course he fucking did! They ask a few questions until he decides he doesn't give a shit about keeping his job and walks off.
Well,
I've never seen anything like this. Everything reads true.
look, can someone learn to beat this thing?
Yeah.
Possible, but you'd have to have total control over your emotions.
What emotions? He's Steven Seagal! Fuck it. How the hell are you surprised by odd readings out of a polygraph test? Those things aren't exactly known for their reliability. In fact, they are no longer admissible in court.
Yep.
Therefore, Seagal is suspended, and the rest of the force figures out that the family man didn't do the last 2 killings, and... Oh, for fuck's sake, we already knew this! Moving on, now that he's suspended, that means Seagal can start investigating wherever he pleases. Unfortunately for him, Random Thug Ninja was somehow already waiting for him, and we get a kind of unique fight with them brawling amongst a crap ton of birds. Unique? Yes, but I'm not sure that really makes it any more exciting. Random encounter leaves, allowing him to get his clue anyway. He shows it to Wayans. Literally, it's the same clip, and they figure out that Deverell is the one behind the extra murders, and he was smuggling chemical weapons from Russia.
You know they will take my badge if they find out I'm working with you. But my gut tells me you might be right.
And after all, there weren't any other suspects in this movie. I mean, you were for a bit, but come on, whoever thought that for a second? Then something amazing happens.
You're asking me if I've ever seen Casablanca?
Have you?
You gotta be kidding. Me? Never seen Casablanca?
Seagal showed an emotion. It also turns out that Deverell was working with Smith all along, and this surprises nobody. But he also reveals the truth as to what the fuck the title of this movie is supposed to mean, as Seagal used to work for him.
He was known as the Glimmer Man. There'd be nothing but jungle. Then a glimmer.
Then you'd be dead.
Then you'd be dead.
Still, I don't see how that wouldn't work as a sequin-clad gay stripper. I wonder what a fight between him and the Predator would have looked like. They also come to the agreement that Deverell's son needs to die, because surely there's some emotional attachment to that character from 40 minutes ago, right? Ninja Assassin is also on the prowl to hunt and kill our 2 officer friends. First, we're treated to a surprisingly impressive fight between Wayans and the assassin.
It is a great
Surprising because
fight.
Keenen actually does a pretty damn good job, and the scene is exciting. And his stunt double is fucking fantastic. Seagal's assassins are less impressive, posing as internal affairs, taking him for a drive for some unknown reason, but uh-oh, they're actually Russian mafia.
You talk of Moscow, yeah?
Конечно! Он говорит на русском язык! He easily beats the 2 of them from the back seat, drives the car for them, and rolls to safety before they blow the fuck up.
Always good to have a good fireball in there somewhere. Good fireball.
Oh, don't even pretend like that was a close call, Seagal. It's not very exciting when you pretty much never get hit. He catches back up with Campbell, and they're hot on the trail of... Hey, wait a minute. Isn't Seagal supposed to be suspended? Wouldn't there be quite a few police there where fellow officer's apartment was blown up? Doesn't anybody give a fuck what these 2 do? Anyway, they trace old phone records to Johnny Deverell's girlfriend. It turns out Johnny used her phone to call one of the victims to warn him, and now that they've just figured out hours after their assassination attempts that there was probably someone coming to kill the kid too, they head over to where Johnny's being held to prevent that. Obviously, they waited till morning to try to kill him because otherwise the police wouldn't have time to show up and stop it. It turns out that because his father thought he had blacked the psychiatrist about the earlier killing, he had him killed too. And the one who's been doing all the killing is none other than Donald, Deverell's one and only grunt. You'd think if the investigators would start using the process of elimination from the start, they'd solve these crimes a lot quicker.
They'll
All
have a
now is the
movie.
2 of them need to kidnap Mr. Smith and brutally torture him to get information about his deals with Deverell. Hey, wait a minute, when the hell did they learn he had any connection to the man?
Deverell is smuggling chemical weapons in from Russia.
We already know! For fuck's sake, you only need one big reveal scene! Every single one after that, let's just say the news is a little less shocking. But they've got it on tape, so they leave his ass behind and set up a deal with Deverell that if he gives them Donald, he can walk away free. Of course, they take that and let Donald know about the betrayal, so when everyone is in place for the exchange, they turn on each other.
Positively Shakespearean.
What the fuck are you talking about? It's a Seagal movie, for God's sake. Thanks, Donald. Seagal and Wayans burst in after this, where Seagal peacefully and non-violently kills everyone in the room, spare Donald, who incapacitates Wayans. After this movie, I get the feeling that Mr. Wayans hated Windows before it was cool.
Jack!
Wow. That green screen is horrifying. No, I didn't expect Keenen to put his life at risk for a Seagal film of all things, but come on, you can see the green shine off his scalp. After Seagal saves him, ensuring that he will be out of the way and not interrupt him during the climax, the final battle is underway. It goes pretty much the same as any final confrontation in a Seagal film, with Donald getting his ass kicked, and Seagal suffering next to no damage.
Whoa.
Is that the best you got, boy?
I don't think that counts when he obviously didn't feel it. Take that for what it is, as it is the one and only time he is struck during the brawl, which ends with Donald being kicked through the rubberized iron bars and landing on a slightly more solid set. No, Keenen, that doesn't count as participating in the final battle. This brings the story to a close, with the entire police force present and happy with Seagal for disobeying orders and killing suspects this time, and Wayne's reminding us all that he is a comedian.
It's just that ever since you started being my partner, I've been beat up, blown up, shot, kicked out a window, all my worldly possessions burnt to a crisp. Basically, I'm homeless. Not one good thing has happened since I met you.
Well, look on the bright side. It's not like you've had to deal with him all summer.
Oh.
Well, that was the Glimmer Man. And, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yes, there are obvious problems, but at its heart, nothing is so bad about this movie it brings it down completely. The action is alright, and the editing competent, which I know are basic features of movies, but we've been having a drought of that lately, so I'm very happy to see it. Seagal is Seagal, yet again. But Keenen Ivory Wayans is thankfully given enough screen time where he can offset Seagal's very dry presence. However, the movie can't seem to make up its mind what to do with Wayans. There are a couple scenes where his comedy comes through, but they are few and far between. Most of the time, he's ultra serious. Maybe it was balanced a bit better in the extended cut, but I'll never know. The supporting cast was very good, with skilled actors giving decent performances on honestly shallow roles. That's the kryptonite of this film, its simplicity. It flows like something that's supposed to have questions and reveals that change everything, but it doesn't. It follows a very predictable formula, and they didn't have much to reveal, so they just reveal the same information over and over again. At the end of the day, The Glimmer Man is a fun movie to sit through with a couple of friends who've got nothing better to do, but the story won't intrigue you, and the very sparse comedy isn't enough to get you to feel like watching it more than one time, coming in at 3 birds out of 5. Of course, according to Rotten Tomatoes, it's rated at 13%.
Ooh.
Are you kidding me? That's only 1% higher than Requiem! Is that the difference that being able to actually see the movie makes? Thank you all for watching. I'm Decker Shado, and remember, if you're feeling uneasy after watching so many Seagal films, his best advice to you is to go suck on some deer penis.
Great face to go with it. He always includes notes at the end of his videos.
Okay.
Kind of like Erod. Obligatory copyright credits. While I don't agree with the major critical reviews of this film, it is a fact that it bombed in theaters, earning $22 million after costing $45 million to produce. That's bad. Part of me wonders how much the reviews were based on his performance, though, because seriously, there are far worse movies out there. While Smith was the first outside source to reveal the chemical weapons from Russia thing, Seagal still said that's what was going on when he met up with Wayans earlier. Where did he get the information from that soon? Out his ass, of course. You know what? Deer penis is a traditional Chinese medicine. You know what else? It has nothing to do with allergies. It's supposed to enhance
Virility.
Shocking. Its alleged effect of relieving athletic injuries actually caused it to be banned from consumption during the 2008 Beijing Olympics. That research was much more interesting than the movie. Funny. And he always also puts a little clip from the movie at the end, like most guys do. Some website I think he's a part of or was.
Okay.
Read him his rights even though he's a little unconscious. He knows.
Well, that guy's getting off.
I don't know.
So, that was Decker Shado.
Yeah.
What did you think of him?
Oh, he was fun. He was fun. I think he scripts things very well because he's really got a good, steady delivery, and he's up and down on the comments as far as, you know, this is good, this is, you know, he's very articulate. I like it.
Yeah, he does a good job of reviewing an entire movie, usually in under 30 minutes. Gets all the key points and sums up things reasonably well. And when he sees something that's bad, he really goes in. But when he sees something good, he gives it its credit.
Well, like he said at the end there, you know, hey, there's a lot worse movies than this.
Yeah. And he's had the summer of Steven Seagal had him dealing with mostly the mid-2000 direct-to-video Seagal films. So this was a little bit of a relief.
Yes. It actually had a cast, so.
Yeah. And, well, I'm not sure he has the best hair. It is clear he takes good care of it.
I'm indifferent to hair. Looks like he does just fine with it, but okay.
And my favorite gags...
Can you see why I'm indifferent to hair? So.
No, I really cannot. Anyway, back to what we're saying. My favorite gag by him here was when they're in the Catholic school and he says, "Why didn't you fix this?" And I hear, "Wrong denomination."
Funny stuff.
And I loved when he also pointed out the implausibility of Seagal when he jumps through that window completely to the next building.
Flight.
I watched this movie with my best friend a few years ago, and he had the same thought. No.
Yes. Well, you know, maybe he's so big because he's, you know, partially helium or something like that.
And the Glimmer Man, I agree, not perfect, but I enjoy it, and I have watched it more than once because it's got fun action, fun comedy, and while Seagal does suffer from his usual one-note acting, I think he and Wayans actually had some decent chemistry together.
Yeah, they worked well. They worked well. They're different enough so that it made a good combination. Plus, the rest of the cast, you know, they were good in their roles.
Bob Gunton, this is actually one of the least asshole roles I've seen him in, surprisingly. I mean, yeah, he's a bad guy, but a lot more likable than his character in Demolition Man. Yeah. And Brian Cox.
He was very good at acting how much he didn't want to be shot over and over.
Yeah. And for a British guy, he did a very good southern accent.
He did just fine. Mighty fine.
And surprisingly, even though he got shot in the hand and the foot, I'd say he got off pretty easy compared to what usually happens to villains in a Seagal film.
Yeah, but you know, then they had some history, so maybe he cut him a break.
Maybe. And just something Decker didn't point out, but it's around the Glimmer Man that you can see that Seagal was very visibly getting fat, and he's starting to wear all black clothes to try and hide it. And the most ridiculous moment of him trying to cover it up was when he did the polygraph, and they had that cuff link on him. You can see he's still wearing his shirt sleeve with it on. And next to the fact that he can be calm enough to beat it, are they really surprised the readings probably weren't that good?
Well, maybe he did climb Everest. Who knows? Maybe he didn't, summit, but he could have climbed it.
And yeah, like Decker said, Seagal doesn't show much emotion when the guy hits him. But at the same time, I watched that, I'm like, he actually got hit.
He was struck. A good blow.
When does that ever happen?
Blood.
And any other thoughts you want to give on Decker as a reviewer?
No, he seems like he's a lot of fun. And if we watch something from something else he does, it'll be very instructive to see how he changes, or if this is pretty much. You said it's the pace. He delivers. He keeps it moving. I like that. And then he's like I said, he's pretty articulate, and he's got good comic relief mixed in with it. Very good.
And a good example of his work, I can't remember at the moment. I think it might be another Seagal review. But there was one review he did where apparently the whole thing crashed and he had to edit it together in like a day or two before putting it up, and you watch it all the way through and you can't tell that it was like a rush job. So not only can he structure a review well and execute, but he can get it done in rapid pace.
Well, obviously that talent came in handy.
He's got good delivery and he's got good timing. I like him a lot, and if you want to check him out, go to the link down below and maybe subscribe. And if you want to see more reaction videos on this channel, check him out and maybe subscribe to us. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you later.
Later.